Good day, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be looking at rules when multiplying and dividing integers, right? So the first rule under multiplying, because we're going to multiplying first, right, is that a negative number being multiplied by a positive number will result in a negative answer, right? So to give an example, let's say we're multiplying negative 2 by positive 3. So negative 2 being multiplied by positive 3 will give us negative 6, because we state that when a negative number is being multiplied by a positive number, the answer will be negative. So let's go to another example, right? Let's say, for example, it was negative 10 being multiplied by positive 2, right? So the answer would be negative 20, because a negative number times a positive number will give us a negative answer. So there's something I want to touch on, right? Being that we touched and said that negative times a positive will give us a negative answer, right? Then I want you to see that if you were to flip around the sign, you still get the same answer. Because if you're to wonder what a positive number being multiplied by a negative number would result in, it will still be a negative number, right? So that still applies. So negative times positive results in negative, along with positive times negative will give us negative. So let's do an example, right? So let's say, for example, if we had positive 2 multiplied by negative 3, the answer would still be negative 6, right? And let's say if we're supposed to have positive 10 being multiplied by negative 2, the answer would still be negative 20. So let's go to the other rule. So this rule states that a negative number being multiplied by a negative number will give us a positive answer, right? So to demonstrate, let's say, for example, we had negative 8 being multiplied by negative 5, right? So we establish that when a negative number is being multiplied by a negative number, the answer would be positive. So therefore, negative 8 being multiplied by negative 5 will give us positive 40. Now, let's go to another example. What if it was negative 3 being multiplied by negative 5, right? And as we state, a negative times a negative will give us positive. So negative 3 being multiplied by negative 5 will give us positive 15. All right. Okay, so the rules were a negative number times a positive number will give you a negative number. A positive number times a negative number will give you a negative number. And a negative number times a negative number will give you a positive number. So those are the rules under multiplying integers. Let's go to dividing. So the rule states when a negative number is being divided by a positive number, the answer would be negative, right? So let's do an example. So let's say we had negative 40 being divided by positive 8, right? By positive 8. So we state that when a negative number is being divided by a positive number, the answer would be negative. So um so 8 into negative 40 will leave us with negative 5 as the answer. So negative 5. All right. So let's go to another one, right? Let's say would have negative 10 being divided by positive 2, right? So when a negative number is being divided by a positive number, the answer will be negative. Hence, negative 10 being divided by positive 2, the answer would be negative 5. So let's go back to another rule, right? So let's say, for example, if the signs were flipped around, and you're wondering what would a positive number being divided by a negative number would equal to, right? Just know that the answer will still be negative. So a positive number being divided by a negative number also will give you a negative answer, right? So let's go to an example. So we have positive 9 being divided by negative 3. So when a negative number is being divided by when a positive number is being divided by a negative number, the answer will be negative. So negative 3 into positive 9 will leave us with negative 3. And another example could be positive 12 being divided by negative 3, right? And the answer would be negative 4. Okay, so let's go to the final rule with dividing integers. So this states a negative number being divided by a negative number will give us a positive number, right? So let's say, for example, we had negative 20 being divided by being divided by negative 4, right? Then we already stated that when a negative number is being divided by a negative number, the answer will be positive. So negative 20 being divided into negative 4 will give us positive 5. And another example could be negative 32 being divided by negative 4 would give us positive 8. So no, right? Those would be the rules for dividing integers. So let's recap what we learned. So we learned that a negative number being divided by a positive number will give us a negative number. A positive number being divided by a negative number will give us a negative number. And finally, a negative number being divided by a negative number will give us a positive number. So that's it on integers, right? And I hope you learned something new. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.